Bye.
Bye. Wish me luck.
Toodaloo. Good luck. So, we just got to our home study number 2. Chelsea is going in first. It's going to be about an hour and a half long interview with the social worker, and she's up first. So I'm going to go find a coffee shop, do some readings. I'm a little bit behind on all the readings I have to do, so I got to catch up. Wish me luck. All right, the Starbucks was stupid crowded, so now I'm headed to a brewery, get a pop and surprise or something, get my studying done. And I don't know about you guys, but when I have to read, I can't have people around me. It needs to be like as quiet as possible. And so the Starbucks just wasn't gonna do it. So here we are, heading to this brewery, gonna check it out, and stay tuned. Well, so much for that plan. Looks like that bar is closed. So now I'm gonna check out Einstein Bagels and see what they got to offer. Hopefully it's nice and quiet. All right, got some good reading done. Leaving the bagel place, now heading to the adoption center to see, if Chelsea's even close to being done or not. She's supposed to text me when she's done, but I'm just gonna go head over there and continue to do some reading in the lobby and wait for her. Stay tuned.
All right, I am finally done with my portion of the home study. I haven't actually had to talk to John yet at all about it. He pulled up and went in right as I came out. So we haven't had a chance to discuss anything that we were asked, so I guess it'll be 100% honest, and hopefully I did a good job. I am just, I don't know, I'm nervous. I can't help it. I worry a lot. I'm a nervous person. And I'm just worried about what I said. Like, did I say the right things? I mean, I was true to myself. I really was. I didn't hide anything. I just let him know how I was feeling and answered everything honestly. So hopefully it sets a good impression. But now I'm gonna go find someplace to chill while John answers his questions, and then I will I'll record a little bit more there when I'm not walking around and let you know what they actually asked me, and some of the other things I'm thinking about and worrying about right now. I'm also really hungry, so excuse me while I can't think straight. Okay, so hopefully it's not too loud in here. So today it was more personal questions about me specifically, about where I grew up, about my relationship with my family. And the other thing I've been thinking about is, like, do I have a baby shower? And when do you have a baby shower? Like, do I have a baby shower once our adoption, like, we're open and ready, looking for a family to choose us, and then potentially wait 2 years before I actually have a child? Or do I wait until we're elected by a birth mother, and then what if she changes her mind, and then we have all this stuff, and then there's no baby in sight? Or do I wait until I actually have the baby in my arms? But then you're like, okay, you have a baby and you don't have any of the stuff. You don't have bottles, you don't have diapers, you don't have a crib, you don't have a car seat. So I'm curious, what did those of you who have adopted do? Did you have a baby shower, or did you just kind of buy everything yourself and wait for the best? All right, I'm gonna try this again. I tried to record where I got a snack, but it was pretty loud in there, so it didn't really go very well. So today they asked us a lot of personal questions about ourselves. I went first, and they asked about my childhood and what my relationship is like with my parents, and what my relationship is like with John's parents, and a lot of personal development questions. It was pretty similar, honestly, to last time. But one of the things they asked me today is, what are my hobbies? And if you watch our other episode where John and I do like a Q&A with each other, that's one of the things he asked me is, what are my hobbies? And unfortunately, I really don't have any hobbies right now. I used to do Kung Fu, and I loved it. But with all the infertility medications that I was on, I wasn't allowed to do Kung Fu for 2 reasons. One, because I was on blood thinners, and it is risky to do any physical contact sport on blood thinners. And the other reason is because when I was doing retrievals, they give you medications to stimulate your ovaries, and your ovaries actually get enlarged, and there's an increased chance of ovarian torsion, which is when your ovary actually like twists over on itself, and you can lose your entire ovary and all your eggs. So I wasn't allowed to do it, and because I've been out of it for so long, I'm super out of shape and kind of embarrassed to go back. I should go back, but I haven't like made myself do it yet. So when you ask me if I have any hobbies, I'm like all I really do is go to work and then come home and sit on my butt and watch TV or read for work. Or when John's home, I just like to spend time with him. So hopefully they don't think I'm too boring because I don't actually have any hobbies. I'm kind of just a homebody. I do like to hang out with my friends. That's probably my hobby, but it's hard to do too because we all work different shifts. So that's something that she asked today. And then I feel like everything else we kind of covered last time. There wasn't a ton of new stuff. I think it was just more individual, one-on-one. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And then she asked me about my brothers, which I haven't mentioned, but I do have half siblings, but I'm not close to them. They did not grow up in my home. So I hope that's okay too. Like I don't really have a relationship with my brothers. But something that is kind of weighing on me heavily right now is whether we should do a transracial adoption or not. I have always kind of thought we would. I thought that if I don't know, my plan from the beginning, which obviously we make plans and God laughs, but was to have 2 children of our own and then adopt a 3rd child. And in my mind, that child was going to be black, whether they were from Africa or the United States. I had pictured us having a black child. I've always had black baby dolls and black Barbies, and my parents never understood why I wanted them. But growing up as a kid, I did. I always wanted black baby dolls. And I work in an inner city right now, and most of my patients are African American. And I do feel relatively comfortable with them and their culture. So I've always pictured myself having a baby of another race. But now that I think about it more, I'm concerned because with the reading that we've done, I don't know if adopting transracially would be selfish of me. So you're probably like, why would that be selfish? It doesn't make any sense. Well, when you read these books, they do point out a lot of things about how important it is to expose your child to their culture. And just thinking about the fact that John and I are probably moving in about a year to an area that's not very diverse, I don't want to do a disservice to my child. I don't want to bring a child into an area where they would be the minority in every situation. Because I want to be a mom now. I want a baby right now. So I don't know if it's me just being selfish like that. I know there are more African American children that get put up for adoption, and so I would like to be open to that, and I feel like I would be completely comfortable raising them and exposing them to their culture. But at the same time, I don't know if what I am capable of doing will be enough for them not to feel like an outsider later in life. I don't know, are there any of you out there that were adopted by a white family that could potentially speak about this? I want to do what's best for the child. I really do. I want to make sure that they're not the only kid of their race in their school, the only kid of their race in their church. I mean, you're already going to be the only kid of your race in our home unless we adopt again in the future, which will probably happen. But I want to create opportunities where I can for them not to be isolated. And I want to know how, if there's other families out there who've adopted, how did you do this? How did you create opportunities for your child to interact with other people of their own race? And do you think it helped? Like, I have friends that I'm sure would help, but it's just not the same, you know? And I don't want to do this just because that's what I want. I want to do what's best for the kid. So any opinions on this, kind ones, please, with experience would really help. And my agency actually provided me with a book today, which, where did I put it? Hold on. Reaching. Okay. So they provided me with a book today to kind of help John and I make our decision. Because they said, you know, you get approved for one or the other. You get approved for a child of your own race, or you get approved for like kind of any race. And in my mind, I want to go with any race because I think God has a plan, and whatever child is placed with us is the child we're supposed to get, and we will do our best to give that child the best life possible. But at the same time, I have to do some deep and heavy digging to make sure I'm choosing this for the right reason, and it's not just for me. So John is in there right now doing his home study, so we're going to talk about what he got asked and go from there. So stay tuned.
All right, just got done. It was about an hour long, and to be honest, I thought it was kind of worthless. It was pretty much what we already talked about beforehand, about, you know, what were your parents like, what was your child life like, and all that fun stuff, which I felt like we already answered in the questionnaires and at our last meeting, but it's still really nice. Just, she was nice and easygoing, laid back. But Chelsea had to take my Starbucks, so let's hope it's still in one piece, and she was able to drive that big thing around. There it is. Any scratches? Did you ding it up?
What?
Did you ding it up?
I didn't ding it up.
You sure? Oh, let me check.
Are you check. Are you kidding me right now? Although, I'm not going to lie, I had to park like in a separate parking lot because I was afraid to park this beast next to a normal car.
Good.